Hey, this is Politics with Laura, and I got a good one for you this evening. This video is about racism in Mexico. Yeah, believe it or not, racism does exist in Mexico, and it's just like the United States. The United States is more upfront with their racism. They put it out there where everybody can see it. So there, I can deal with people that are upfront racist. I can deal with that. But Mexico, um, they didn't. How can I say this? The government, like about 15 years ago, just acknowledged that they had black people in Mexico. So you know that this is a level of racism that is just like woof. And then with that mindset, when you look, I'm gonna put it like this. Just keep it total 100. Um. Oh, how can I say this? Racism is also imported too. So it's just what it is. It is what it is. And you know, people like to say that racism is ignorance and a lack of knowledge, exposure, and information. Um, Let me change my thing real quick. I'm going to say this. That right there is a nice little pretty packaged ideology that people display, but no. Look, being a racist is a willful act. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's not ignorance. Unless if you get up and be willfully ignorant, then I can agree. But being a racist is an act of choice. Not only a choice, but it's something that you willfully do. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Back to Mexico's racism. Okay, here. Okay, Mexico's governmental agency investigates Sonora Grill for accusations of separating diners by skin color. This is going to be an interesting one. Really interesting. Okay, let me change. Okay, the luxurious restaurant chain Sonora Grill Group is in the eye of the hurricane due to accusations that points to the allegation acts or the alleged acts of discrimination and racism against its diners. Look, in case if you don't understand, when you're out for business and you want money from people, but you're a racist and you have your employees practice racism because you are the owner and you do set the tone, you realize that people can take their pesos and go someplace else. You know that, right? Keep that in mind when you want to display your racism. Just FYI for your information. Okay. Okay, the accusation started at the restaurant chain located in Presidente Masarek Street in Polonca neighborhood, one of the most exclusive in the capital, where they were accused of classifying their clients according to their physical appearance and their skin color. It was through a Twitter account, Terra Restaurant MX, that alleged employees and former employees disclosed the mode of operation of the luxurious restaurant, since people with Caucasian features were set to a more exclusive action or section, and the treatment is different compared to diners whose skin complexion are brown. Quite interesting, quite interesting. You can't make this stuff up. And look, and people, people, understand this. Your money rules. And if somebody doesn't like you, then they don't like your money. You gotta have to have more self-love and more pride than to be and spend your money at a place that doesn't respect you. Come on, get a grip. Sheesh. And then if they don't want you, then you go someplace else. And guess what? You can form your own restaurant. Okay? Equal opportunity. And don't give me that garbage about you can and it's hard. Just stop it. Don't believe the hype. That's my public announcement. All right. Thus, the establishment is divided into two zones. The first, called the Mouse, where Caucasian people are placed, and the other, known as Gandhi, where the rest of the clients are placed. The Council to Prevent the Elimination of Discrimination in Mexico City, COPRED, COPRED, reported that the ex officio investigation file was opened against Sonora Grill, for which the restaurant must respond to the request for information about the accusations and whether it carried out discriminatory practices towards its guests. Really? You're going to send them a request, have them fill out whether if they practice discrimination. Look, are you serious? Okay, wait. Let me back it up. Back it up. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Look, I don't know whether if this right here is just being disingenuous or just pretending to deal with the information. Not information, but to deal with your racist policy in that restaurant. And believe me, if I know there are many other places that do the same thing. You know, look, people, as I said, you could take your money and go where you're respected. Do not spend your money where you're not respected. But then the government is going to have to do a better job, because I just don't see how. Man, oh man. Oh, Mexico, you got to do a better job. You have to do a better job than that, to send a request to see if they're going to really write down, okay, we practice racism or discriminatory policy? No, they're not going to write that down. Oh my goodness. Woo. Please help me. Get through this. Oh Lord. In addition, the president of the COPRED, Geraldina Gonzalez de la Vega, notified Miguel Hidalgo, mayor's office, where the restaurant is located, to verify if it is indeed engaging in racist acts. If accredited, Sonora Grill could be fined, and the council would be in charge of training the staff. Oh, this is ridiculous. Ugh. We cannot continue this type of practice in establishment, Gonzalez de la Vega commented, as she indicated that it is not a specific restaurant, but discriminatory acts in more bars and branches in CDMX, that the capital city of Mexico. Okay. Okay. The restaurant must respond to the request for information about whether it resorts to discriminatory practices. In parallel, the council is collecting testimonies from affected people. Okay, all right. You redeem yourself a little bit. Sonora Grill Group released a statement in which it flatly denies any racist acts and discrimination in its establishment, where they assure that they have always worked to create an inclusive atmosphere or inclusive environment both for customers and their staff. And guess what? If you think anyone believes that, because I know I don't, I can sell you the Golden Gate Bridge for $10.50. Really? You know, as insulting as that is, I would, the next time I go to Mexico, believe me, you're not getting my money, okay? You would not get 1 peso from me. I know how money works. You wouldn't get a penny of mine. Okay, over 18 years we have developed as a group in which respect, inclusion, service, and love for country prevailed as fundamental pillars, they asserted. Now keep in mind, remember, I just told you that Mexico just recently, within past 15 years, recognized that black people were in the country. So that mindset is totally ingrained. So that statement means very little to me. Okay. However, the complaints have increased as the days go by. A user identified Sofia Sotero published a video on her TikTok account in which she shared her testimony as a former employee of the branch that is not Polanco, and assured that the restaurant has indeed engaged in discriminatory acts. Yep. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, I see you getting boycotted and losing your money. Look, let me see, what is the name of this restaurant again? Look, this is something that people really need to understand, is that if you're going to be a racist and you're going to be out for business, make sure that you have the target people that you want to frequent your establishment. Make sure you have all those people coming in and buying your stuff. Just keep that in mind. Because if you don't, then you can't afford to be a racist. You can't. You can't afford to be a discriminate. You can't afford to discriminate against anyone, because guess what? Money doesn't have a color. And until you understand that, unless if you have a lot of Caucasian people coming there frequent your restaurant, then keep on being a racist. But if not, yeah, better change it. Just a thought. It's ridiculous. Oh. And again, I'm going to reiterate this again, and that is, people, you need more self-pride and more self-love, because if you go into a place where you're being discriminated against and then you give them your money, then that's your fault, because you're financing your own racism. You're paying them to be racist against you. You take your money and then you take it to where people respect you. You don't give it to the person that hates you. You give it to the person that respects you. That simple. Do not finance your own racism and discrimination and then complain about it. Don't go where you're not wanted. Simple. And that will stop the races real quick. When that money doesn't come in and they can't pay that light bill or that mortgage or keep their children in private school, oh yeah, they will change real quick. Just some info. Okay. In addition to her recount on the an experience in which he has called the attention to trying to seat a couple in the balcony area that did not meet the standards in the establishment for which she worked, or which she assured that as a result of the accusation, she realized that this was not an isolated case, but rather the way which various branches were possible. And I'm telling you, I've been called some wild names. This look like really. And then they want to say, oh, the person, racists and people that are prejudiced are ignorant. No, they're not ignorant. No, ignorant is when you lack information. No, you got the information. You know you're a racist. And that's just who you are. Fine, be that. But don't expect to get too far in life, because look, racism doesn't pay. You'll be in an unemployment line. Okay, on that note, please like, subscribe if you like my content. If you don't, then subscribe, dislike, and tell me why you don't like it. And you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I do appreciate that, because one thing you cannot get back is time. Yeah, I was going to say erase this, but you can't get back time. You just simply can't. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.